You know, the thing is with these age verification programs, these censorship bills, this is what I call them, that are going around. People say like, well, they're not just going to sit there. They were just protecting the kids from the pornography and all that bullshit.
I think my viewpoint is certainly using social media too much all the time can be bad in some cases for some kids, just as doing, too much of anything to any degree could be bad for people of any age. But a lot of kids actually get value out of social media in terms of connecting with their friends, especially as we came through the pandemic, getting new sources of information, a creative outlet in some cases. Talk to us about the portrait of social media's impact on kids' mental health, because we hear in the mainstream media all the time that this is such a crisis, this is such an emergency, kids have never been more depressed. It's obvious it's their smartphones. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, we've had Aaron Brown at Reason doing a lot of stuff on this lately. He's a statistician, and he's been, showing that a lot of these studies that are showing that it's social media causing the mental health problems are not very good. The data that they're based on is not very good. Like you said, obviously social media can be bad for certain minors, for certain teens, for certain children, but it's not universally bad. And like you said, also there's a lot of good effects. It is an outlet for creative expression. It's an outlet for finding information. I think one of the most important things is an outlet for community, especially for teens who are, maybe in marginalized groups who don't feel like their identities are being respected in their schools or by their families. This is a place where people can actually feel like they belong, and to entirely cut teenagers off from that outlet, as some of these proposals would do, I think would make things, a lot worse for a lot of the mental health of children and teens.
Let me tell you something. I haven't heard such a rhetoric like this since the 1990s. And that's what it is. It is a repeat of what happened in the 90s. Remember, they got rid of Saturday morning cartoons. Why? Because they basically didn't want kids to watch Saturday morning cartoons. They said it was a danger to them. They need to be more educated. Let me ask you a question. Are they more educated now with Saturday morning cartoons gone, or less? With all the problems that education, that's going on with education, our education values have gone into the toilet at this point. And, they go after music, they go after video games. It's the same old rhetoric. Now they're trying to push the porn out. And they say, well, because of the human trafficking and the child trafficking. But meanwhile, Facebook, Instagram, all of that occurs there, even though they've mentioned it, but they haven't really done nothing against those sites themselves. See, the thing about it is, you have to realize this. There are evil people in the world, and there are always going to be evil people in the world. And they're going to do really bad things. And they're going to use whatever tool that they can. The only thing that a lot of these companies can do is do the best they can to try to block this out. It costs money. And you may say, well, they make money off of it. Well, they make money, but the thing about it is, if they don't catch it on time, it's automatically it's going to get into the rotation. And the thing about it is, they don't put up just that one video. They can upload that video multiple times, or you have a couple of as they say, perverts out there that multiple groups that will take it up on there. But and if you look at most of the P to the E to the D to the O that are out there, most of their stuff doesn't all come from the internet. It comes from sharing. And we know that there are some sharing websites out there. I believe Crowder had talked about one of them recently on there, and how it has links to a particular large company. That one person in there, that email, it led to a large company. And now the lawyers of that company are trying to sue Crowder at this moment, but right now nothing has gone that far. And this is what happens, if you point it out, they're going to go, they're going after you. And now you have legislators that they're trying to go after the equipment. They're trying to go after the computers. They're going to try to go after the laptops the tablets, the phones, and say, listen, you got to put a filter on there. You got to put a censorship thing on there. And you realize what they're doing is most of these companies are not going to comply with this. You know, you have companies like Verizon and all that. They're not going to shut down those IPs. They're not going to turn back on there because that becomes a legality on the other end. And they don't want to be sued into oblivion by the consumers. That's what's going to happen. And it's the same thing with, you know, companies like Apple and Motorola and many others. You know, they're not going to do it either. The article we're going to talk about today is out of XBiz, is about this Iowa Republican changes porn filter bill into age verification bill after learning more about phones. The Republican legislator behind the Iowa mandatory porn filter bill said that after realizing that multinational electronic corporations were unlikely to alter phones and other devices to comply with one state law, he was turning his bill yet into another of the age verification legislation being sponsored around the country by anti-porn religious conservative activists. Remember, it's not the porn that they're trying to get rid of. They're trying to change obscenity laws. They're trying to reverse us back to the time, you know, prior to it, where we were arresting comedians, we were arresting film producers, we had certain laws in place in Hollywood, the Hays Code. That's what they're trying to push us back to, you know, and that's something we don't want. Because you're taking the, you know, and it's like Salman Rushdie said.
We take it for granted and get on with our day. And at night, as we fall asleep, we assume we will be free tomorrow because we were free today. The Creative Act requires not only freedom, but also this assumption of future freedom. If the creative artist worries whether he will still be free tomorrow, then he will not be free today. If he is afraid of the consequences of his choice of subject or of his manner of treatment of it, then his choices will not entirely be determined by his talent, but at least in part by fear. If we are not confident of our freedom, then we are not free. And even worse than that, when censorship intrudes on art, then it becomes the subject. The art becomes censored art. And that is how the world sees it and understands it. The censor labels the work immoral or blasphemous or pornographic or controversial, and those words are forever hung like albatrosses around the necks of those cursed mariners, the censored works. The attack on the work does more than define the work. In a sense, for the general public, it becomes the work. For every reader of Lady Chatterley's Lover or Tropic of Cancer, for every viewer of Last Tango in Paris or A Clockwork Orange, there will be 10 or 100 or 1,000 people who know those works as excessively filthy or excessively violent or both, because that's what they have been told about them.
You know, people are afraid of these things, and you're taking the artistic expression out of the whole situation. Yeah, porn can be artistically expressed. You know, there are many things out there. You could go read the novel Fanny Hill. It happens to be a fantastic novel. Yes, it's about sex, but it is fantastically written. It is a fantastic book. You know, it's not meant for kids, but, you know, for an adult, and it's been made several times in films. You know, Hollywood did don that film, made films out of it several times. State Representative John Willis told Iowa's The Gazette newspaper on Tuesday that in the process of running House File 2114, he learned more about how phones are manufactured and sold. Willis added that this new knowledge resulted in a plan to change the proposal focus on an age verification requirement for porn sites, plus an education campaign that teaches the parents and children how to create safeguards on phones, the Gazette reported. You don't need the age verification. The second half of this, as long as you're saying you can you can block these things, and it's very simple. It's very actually, you don't really have to put money in, really that much money into teaching people on it. It's so simple. Most people, if you use a computer, you know how to block things. It's very simple. It's not impossible. It's all it is the type in the website, or you could purchase a certain software that allows you to block certain certain words, title frames, and all that. That just basically, if it's in that field, it'll automatically block the screen. And this is what a lot of companies do on there. What I learned that basically that the way the bill is written, we would have to make Apple and Google and all these great big worldwide corporations change their practices. Well, they're not going to do that for Iowa, Willis said, and they're not going to do it for anyone else. So it became very evident that we're going to have to make some changes to the bill. It may seem unusual that Willis would have not realized the utter impracticality of his initial proposal, as he worked in Iowa politics for almost a decade and is a retired military man who holds a bachelor's degree in biology and 2 master's degrees in political science, with an emphasis in the national defense and environmental policy and management from an American military university. You notice he holds in biology, but he doesn't hold into the situations the actual science itself that is needed on there. He's just biology. That's it. Everything else is political science. And this is what the problem is. You have all these people in political sciences that they think they know everything. Willis said his current plan, after educating himself on how phones are manufactured and sold, is to the model of his proposal after an instruction and education program from Florida and the age verification system recently enacted in Utah. It's all the same. Remember, it's all the same. This is copy and paste on all these bills. Regardless of Willis' own acknowledgement of the unfeasibility of his porn filter, the proposal, the 2 Republicans on a 3-member legislative panel advanced HF 2114 on Tuesday and is now eligible for consideration by the full House Judiciary Committee. And I tell that committee, do not let this go past. All of these censorship requirements, these verification programs, it's pure censorship. And it's a danger to, the average person as far as your information, because you're entering in order to get verified on there, you got to enter in a credit card number or your ID, passport, stuff that, the companies that they're hiring on there are not guaranteed it's going to be safe. They're going to say, yeah, we're safe on that. Ask all, what is it, 23andMe and many other companies that have gone through where they've been hacked. I mean, we've been hearing, in the media, all these websites that have been cracked in, and that you've lost your information to these people. I myself, I've changed passwords multiple times from what I've been told. Some of the companies that I've dealt with were, that basically the company's been hacked. Thank God, cross fingers, nothing major has, hacked into our systems in here and taken our information. So tell me in the comments below your thoughts about this. I mean, like I said before, age verification bills will never work. A lot of tech moguls will tell you, experts will tell you, this will not work. It is just literally just a censorship grab, because, today they do the porn. Tomorrow they're going to go after the R-rated movies, because remember, when you read these bills, they always put adult content. That's correct, adult content. And they keep directing that adult content means porn. It not only means porn, it means anything over the age, anything in media that is for people over the age of 18. That includes newspapers, movies, magazines, books, anything on the internet. This is what you have to understand is that they like to twist and change definitions of words. This is what they do. So once again, comment, like, share this video, and hopefully today's I've earned you a subscription. We're over 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, those of you who have subscribed. We really do appreciate it. Let's continue to march on. Let's get to that 2,000 mark and beyond. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. Stay strong, question everything, protect yourself, stay safe. We'll see you on the next one. Be sure to check out all of our other videos here on Man with the Show on Cuticast TV. Until next time, bye-bye now.
Thanks for watching, commenting, and sharing this video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe, as this helps the reach of this channel. Finally, as a content viewer, you have the ability to help support this channel, as new internet laws around the world will diminish our reach and affect our sponsors. If you choose to help, there are two ways listed in the description below. The first link will lead you to a pay site where you can make a monetary donation. The second will lead you to our gear shop where you can buy shirts, mugs, and other gear. Discounts will be listed on the site. Once again, thank you for watching and your support.